Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so let's talk about overheating issues with your vehicle, and let's go down the list of why possibly why your vehicle could be overheating, because that situation could be A, extremely damaging to your vehicle, and B, if you're one of those people who aren't very knowledgeable about cars, and then it starts overheating, you don't know too much about it, you keep on driving it, there's a chance that you could have a situation where it overheats to the point where you get a fire under the hood. And then those situations happen so often, you don't even know where a fire starts because of overheating issues with your vehicle. So this is one of the more important things to think about or care about if you guys have one of these situations. But aside from that, let me just talk about what would cause your overheating issues. Okay, so first of all, obviously, you're going to need coolant in your vehicle, and that coolant needs to be at a certain level. And there's a reservoir, and you need to put enough coolant in the reservoir, and it'll tell you where the fill mark is in the reservoir. It should stay at that level. Once you fill it up, if everything's good, there's no leaks, it should stay at that level for a long while, for years. But you should always check. All right, you should always check your coolant every couple months, just to make sure that the coolant is good, particularly if you notice any kind of if you notice that thermostat meter going a little bit over the middle mark. You should probably definitely check that. All right, obviously the coolant runs throughout the engine to cool it, and let's get to the second thing you should look out for with overheating, which is the fan. Now, these days, most cars have electric fans. They're not run by the engine. They're not cooled by the engine. So these electric fans, after a certain if you have an older car, whatever, even if you don't have an older car, some of these fans actually will go out. And if it goes out, it's not running. And when it's not running, obviously it's not cooling your engine. It's not the worst case scenario, because if you're driving it, you know, that wind will cool the engine, but you probably shouldn't be driving it that much, because after a certain period of time, your engine's gonna the heat from it running will overpower any kind of natural cooling when that could cool down your vehicle. So you definitely want to make sure that you have coolant in your reservoir, your radiator, and make sure there's no leaks there, and make sure that the fan is working. Other things that could cause this situation is a stuck thermostat. The thermostat is stuck. It's not going to allow the coolant to flow through the system, and in many cases that could cause your thermostat to go up, overheating issues. Also, there could be a clog in the radiator, a clog somewhere along the whole cooling line, the whole coolant line. That a lot of times, if you have a clog, it could be a clog in the radiator. There's a way to check for that, but you guys should definitely check for that. Let's move on to other things that could cause an overheating issue. Another thing that could cause an overheating issue would be the water pump. Obviously, if you have a water pump that is leaking, that's pretty much telling you that it needs to be changed out. A leaking water pump, you're going to leak out coolant, and it's going to cause overheating issues. But I did put out a video on a Prius that had water pump issues, and didn't get a code for that, didn't leak. But I knew there was a problem with it because I replaced it with non-OEM, and once I replaced it the second time with the original part, that went away. So definitely. But with the situation of most water pumps, a lot of times it's electrical. If you do have a situation with the water pump, you should get a check engine light and a code for it, and that code should specifically state water pump issue. However, if you do have a mechanical water pump, there's a good chance that you notice that it's going out because it'll be leaking coolant from the water pump. Aside from that, you guys really want to check out the coolant temperature sensor. All right, if you guys have a bad coolant temperature sensor, definitely should actually change the coolant temperature change. You definitely should change the coolant temperature sensor along with the water pump, because if one of them went out, pretty sure that the other one is probably on its way out, and you're going to get really bad readings from a damaged coolant temperature sensor. Now, thinking about all the times that I've worked on cars with overheating, with the coolant boiling even at the reservoir. Okay, so you guys might want to get like a new cap if you guys have water boiling at the reservoir, because the cap actually does make a difference as far as, in some vehicles, the radiator cap, in some vehicles, the radiator cap, well, maybe in all vehicles, but some vehicles, the new ones don't have radiator caps, I don't think, but the older ones do. And those radiator caps are pressurized to a certain pressure. Now, if there is an issue with the gasket on the radiator cap, and a lot of times with age, the rubber goes brittle, and what you have is not a sealed pressurized system, and in that case, it could cause boiling at the reservoir. Yeah, definitely check out the radiator cap. If you guys have have a car with a radiator cap, that would actually make a difference with that. However, if you guys have a gasket issue in your engine and a blown gasket, and that's going to be pretty obvious, because if you guys have a blown gasket, that actually could cause overheating issues. All right, a blown gasket could cause overheating issues in that you're going to have a mixture of coolant and oil mixed together, and you'll notice that because you get a lot of smoke coming from the tailpipe, but also you would get the radiator fluid's gonna look milky. It's gonna look grayish, darkish, milky. Well, it's gonna probably look like grayish, milky instead of green, clear green. All right, so that's pretty much the list of that to me, I think that's pretty much the full list of reasons why okay. I forgot one more thing. All right, the radiator itself. The radiator itself has these little tiny has a grill with that's spaced out with tiny spaces. All right, I'm sure you guys know what I mean when I say that. Now, if that gets clogged in any way because you're driving the radiators up front, you're going to get sand, dust, debris, whatever over time. All right, it's possible leaves that the radiator, that those little spaces, and those little spaces exist for a reason, those little spaces could get clogged. In these situations, it could actually cause the coolant from cooling because they're clogged. I mean, you want to make sure that those little spaces, that radiators, the front of the radiator, those spaces, the grill itself is actually clear of debris. Now, aside from that, I really can't think of anything else that actually could cause your vehicle to overheat. But if you know of any, definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Definitely leave a comment in the comment section. Definitely leave whatever experiences you might have of overheating in your vehicle, and leave a comment regardless. If you guys want, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Hope this has helped you guys out to diagnose your issue. All right, guys, take care.